The book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High Power Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakodash. Barakta Yahweh, Barakta Yahweh Shai, Barakta Rachakodash, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakodash. Shalom, a double honors unto the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elders in the Akim and the Akwath. Shalom of the elect. I want to go into a quick video. This is going to be real quick, entitled Home Depot, the latest gearing up for the digital economy. Something along those lines, right? Because what's about to come down, the economy is all transferring to digital currency, and the C-Day, as I did a video on that, you can check the timeline and get more on that, about C-Day, aka Biden Bucks Day, which is Cashless Day, back in December 2013. December 13th, 2022. 2 months ago, right? Joe Biden had signed the bill into effect for the quote-unquote responsible developing of digital currencies. So what that did was trigger and mandate America, and really throughout the four corners of the earth, for the digital economy to become mandated and legalized, where you will not be able to buy or sell unless you have a particular attachment, a technological attachment added into your hand, right? So when you when you make an email, when you create an email, you can attach something to the body of the email, right? And now they want you to attach something to your body to be able to operate and live your normal life. As I had a video called "You Have to Sell Your Soul to Live Your Normal Life." So, these prophecies that was, and these are prophecies. This is a prophecy, a key prophecy that was what prophesied thousands of years ago. And that tarry right here says, though it tarry, in Habakkuk chapter 2, right here in verse 3, it says, though it tarries, wait for it. Though it remains, wait for it. Why? Because it's at the red light, using the analogy of a red light, in a car. The prophecy is the car is at the red light, right? It's tarrying, is remaining at the light for a while, for a season. And when it's time, when the Most High gives it the green light, it's going to take off. It's going to go 0 to 100, immediately, right? So that's what's happening right now. Life as we know it, the economy, and the way of buying and selling and earning your income is all changing rapidly before our very eyes. It's evaporating week by week and month by month, especially after this mandate back in December 13th, right? 2022. So I was at Home Depot earlier today, and I was checking out, and then I noticed that the guy that was checking out my items so I can pay, I noticed he was like right there. He was on the same side of the counter that I was on, right? And so I look up, I was like, what? And then because usually the cashiers are they're on the other side of the counter in their cashier area, right, by the cash register, right? And so he was tapping on this screen on his computer, like this flat screen type deal. And I was like, oh man, I say, okay, there it is, just further proof and becoming more and more prevalent in our everyday lives. And so I asked him, I said, well, I said, you have to be wise as serpents, harmless as doves, right? Because you don't want to give off too much information that you in the know, right? Through this Holy Spirit. And so I was like, hey, they going digital or something, man? Or just to kind of extract information out of him and see what he gonna say, right? And so he was like, yeah, what'd he say? He said, I asked him if they're gonna go digital. He said, yeah, I think they about to go digital, man. And I was like, oh man. Um, what else? What else I say? I asked him. I said they're trying to get rid of the employees or something, huh? He was like, yeah, maybe so, man. I was like, yeah, that's crazy, man. And then I say, you know about what time? You know about when this might happen? Just to kind of see if he had an idea, because he don't really know what's going on, but he has an idea that it's something, sinister happening, right? And so he was like, I think around summertime, man. I was like, oh, okay, okay. Through the spirit, we know we are, as I've made, many videos about it. 2023 is more than likely the year that everything goes digital, because they mandated to the developing of digital currencies. So now in 2023, that gradualism of the serpent squeezing more and more. And now you're seeing that squeeze come down even more. Now you see that the cashiers are now tapping on the screen to just do the transaction. And they don't have he didn't even have, he didn't have a cash register, I don't believe. He just was touching on the screen. And then also at Walmart, they have the screen says credit card only on majority of the machines, on the majority of the self-checkout machines, right? And pretty soon the cash line, the register line is going to be, the cashier line is going to probably be done away with too, and switched out with those same type of flat screen touch screens, right? So I just wanted to go into a video, just touching on it real quick, because it's coming down, because the serpent has a short time and he knows it. And we are now living the end time biblical prophecies that is now speaking loudly, and it's not tarrying, it's not idle right now. It's moving forward, full steam ahead. So so he says around summertime maybe, but in the spirit we know that it's coming up. There's no guaranteed time, but based off the prophecies, we have a ballpark range of when it's going to occur, and we prophesy accordingly, right? So going to the book of Daniel, chapter 12, because that's what's going to come immediately following all of this digital lockdown, digital digital economical lockdown. If I can find a book of Daniel, okay, here we go. So Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up. That's the war angel, the chief war angel, under Yahweh and Yahushua. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And that's the Israelites. So we're blessed. Lord willing, we are of the number of the elect. And there shall be a time of trouble, and as Jacob's trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. So in the history of mankind, there's never a time of trouble like this one. Because the Israelites, we have gone into captivity under every heathen nation on earth. But this is going, and even under Esau Edom, this time is going to be even worse. Slavery was terrible, but this whole digital economy and the persecution of those that stand stiffly for the name of Yahweh and Yahushai and the true doctrine, right? By Hashem Yahushai, it's going to be the toughest on them. And this time it's going to be, that's why they have all those apocalyptic movies, The Walking Dead TV shows, right? I Am Legend, and the movies The Road and I Am Legend, The Book of Eli, etc., right? Because it's going to be the worst times ever. Because the mark of the beast and the digital economy is going to transition into that time frame, into those times. And there should be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. So the worst times ever of any nation in the history of mankind. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered. Because why? World War III, earthquakes in diverse places, pestilences, famines, nation coming up against nations. In the World War III with the thermonuclear missiles, it's all going to culminate in the mark of the beast. You have to wave your hand, and that's what's coming down real soon, more than likely this year. And it might get mandated in this place or that place. It might get, it's going to probably get mandated at a that gradualism, right? 10%, 20%, 40, 50, 60, 70% throughout the year until it's 100% digital, right? And that's what's going on until it's 100% digital. And 2024 is, if it doesn't go 100% digital this year, then assuredly through prophecy, it must be that year for everything to be 100% digital in 2024 at the latest, the way everything is moving so fast. So and at that time, thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. And what book is that? The book of life. Because there's the book of life and the book of dead. And reading Romans 8 and verse 6. For to be carnally minded is death. So you're in the book of death if you're carnally minded, sowing to the flesh. But to be spiritually minded is life and peace. And if you're spiritually minded and headed by your faith and Yahweh and Yahweh Shai and rehearsing the righteous acts of the commandments, then that's to be spiritually minded, and that's life and peace. And what life? In the book of life, in the kingdom of heaven, to be delivered, as spoken of in Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. Verse 7, because the carnal mind is enmity against Yahweh. So you're Satan against the Most High. That means Satan means adversary. And the chief adversary of the Most High today is who? The so-called white race, the so-called white man. They don't keep the commandments nor push it. They say the law is done away with through their wicked Christianity. False Christianity, right? For it is not subject to the law of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, neither indeed can be, because the flesh, the carnalities of the flesh and mind, is subject to Satan. Verse 8. So when you say the law is done away with, then you're subject to Satan and not to the Most High and the law, statutes, and commandments in the name of Yahweh Shai. Verse 8. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please Yahweh. So I just want to get that. So let me see something real quick. Go to Galatians 6. Yeah, verse 8. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. Because when we say the law done away with, you're sowing to the flesh and you're going to reap corruption. But he that soweth to the spirit shall of the spirit reap life everlasting. And that's that book of life. You'll be found in the book of life if you're sowing to the spirit, which is the commandments. And to prove that, for those that may not know, Romans 7 and 14. For we know that the law is spiritual. So that's how you sow to the spirit, by keeping the commandments. First and foremost, having a faith in Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. And your faith is going to dictate, and your actions are going to be shown through your faith. You're going to establish the law and rehearse the law to the best of your ability, which are the righteous acts. But I am carnal, which means fleshly, sold unto sin. So we're in these everlasting chains of darkness, this flesh. And that's how we're sold unto sin. So we fight the flesh and fight sin, and have faith in Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, rehearsing the righteous acts of the commandments. So, it's about to go down. It's right there at the doorstep. It's banging on the door right now, really. This thing where you have to wave your hand to be able to buy and sell. So, this guy, he thinking that, this Home Depot employee thinking that it's going to be around summertime, but, and through the spirit, through the prophecies that we've been prophesying, the prophets and the teachers, based off the prophecies, the Most High gives us prophecies as a time, or as a time watch, as a time clock. And so we know sometime this year that it has to get mandated, because the digital currency was mandated last year, which is in December. So now they're putting forth it into they're transferring it from the law, on sheets of paper into our everyday lives. Transferring, and they're going to transition it from the law, from the papers that they wrote it down on, into the stores, and pass it down because they're going to send out the memo So all of the corporate main managers and owners, the CEOs of every major corporation, and big block chain, the big box stores like Walmart, the main stores we all go to, right? They're all going to get the memo, and they're all instituting and implementing all of the policies and the technology and the systems, that is going to take for everything to run fluidly according to their new digital economy that they're wanting to set up, right? And the CEOs is going to pass it down to their, because it trickles down from the head, which is the CEO, the owner of the major corporations. Then they're going to blast it out to the district managers, the regional managers, the local managers, and then, the supervisors, and then the employees are going to be, directly advising the employees on how to operate the digital economy technology, right? So that's how it's all going to go down. It all starts at the top with the government, and then the government are because the four pillars, as I've stated in other videos, is four pillars of America is big government, big tech, big government, big tech, big pharma, and big media. The social media. So big government, big tech, which is technology, digital economy coming, big pharma, which is the medicine, their so-called their false science and false medicine, and then big media. So all of those together, the government control the shadow government controls all of that, right? And they push down the memos to every level, all four pillars, and then it trickles down, and it stretch out the tentacles throughout the entire country, and then ultimately throughout the four corners. So this is all the prophecies coming to pass right before our very eyes. It's not going to be, this is we lost our heritage. We got to awaken back to our heritage, right? And then we're not going to lose our heritage again. This is the last time. We're now awakened to our identity again, and this is the last days. And so the Messiah has to return in our generation. He has to, because the way the biblical prophecies are unfolding. So Revelations 13-16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, to do what with it? Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So you won't be, because now the cashiers are getting phased out. The guy was standing right next to me, tapping on the screen. And so pretty soon they'll just be there to educate buyers like myself on how to utilize that beast technology, to be able to, those that have that certain attachment in their hand, right, to wave it, to be able to buy. Lord willing, we have the spirit to be a part of the elect, because the elect will not fall victim to that, right? And so Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. So there it is again, there, as it's spoken of in Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1. No time like it ever since there was a nation on the earth. Verse 7, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, because you won't be able to buy and purchase nothing or sell anything without having that, right? So that's a time of trouble. That's Jacob's trouble. That's the ultimate trouble that we'll be in. But he shall be saved out of it, and that's what's going to happen. We're going to suffer a little bit. We're going to deal with a little bit of adversity, those of the hopeful elect. But at the end, through it all, along the way, the Most High is going to provide for his elect, because we remember how Elijah the prophet, when he went and the Most High told him to go over here to this tree, to go here and go there, to be pilgrims on the earth, to be a pilgrim upon the earth, and we're going to be pilgrims. So like I can't say it. To be pilgrims again upon the earth, meaning you're going to go from this place to that place. And then Elijah, the prophet, he was the Most High had sent a raven to feed him with food as he sat underneath the tree and was relaxing from his journey. And then he went to a lady's house who had just a little bit of oil. And then he gave her particular instructions. And then the oil never ran out. So it's going to be miracles happening for the elect to eat. Lord willing, we're of that number. So, don't fret. The Most High is going to take care of the elect. And we're going to eat no matter what. Because the Spirit, the Most High, He's the Father of spirits. He's the author and creator of everything that's going to occur, that we see, and everything to come. And He's not going to let the cave beast destroy His people that have faith in Him and through Yahweh Shai, right? So I just want to make a quick video on that. It's coming down the pike real fast now since the mandate of the digital currency back in December. So with that being said, I hope this video is edifying. Till next video, I say. Oh, hold on. The water to the Ruach HaKodesh for another video by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Till next video, I say. Shalom.